this will be the part 3 of our discussion in Pearson product moment correlation coefficient. And in this video, I'm going to discuss the form, trend, and variation of the scatter plot. The correlation of the variables can be described in terms of form, trend, variation of a scatter plot. The form of correlation can be determined by the shape of points on a scatter plot, categorized as linear or curvilinear. When we say linear, it falls in a straight line. When we say curvilinear, it falls on curved line. The form of correlation is linear if the points on a scatter plot follows a trend of a straight line, as I have said a while ago, while the form of scatter plot is nonlinear if the points follow a trend of curved line. So, sample scatter plots showing curvilinear form of correlation are given on the next slide. So, if we're going to take a look at this first, as you can see, the plots or the points fall on a curve. Same goes with this one. The correlation of variables can also be described in terms of its trend or direction. Say the trend of correlation can be positive, negative, or zero, or negligible, depending on the direction of the points. The trend of correlation is summarized in the table that follows. So let us have the first one. As you can see, the trend is positive correlation if it goes up from left to right. Okay, the direction, the points follow a trend rising from left to right, as I have said. In the description, positive correlation exists when the high values of one variable corresponds to high values of the other variable, or vice versa. Low values of one variable corresponds to low values of the other variable. So that is how we have positive correlation. How about the second one? We have your negative correlation. As you can see, it goes down from left to right. Okay, it is rising from right to left, but it goes down from left to right. So a negative correlation exists when high values of one variable, I guess this part, no, correspond to low values of another variable. In this case, the x here is low, but the y here is high. On the other side, if we have the other variable x is high, we can also see that the y is low. That is how a negative correlation, or that is what a negative correlation is all about. And for no correlation or negligible correlation, the points are either rising from left to right or nor right to left. By the way, the correlation that we are discussing here is the linear correlation. A negligible correlation exists when high values of negligible linear correlation rather exist when high values of one variable corresponds to either high or low values of another variable. So that is a negative correlation or negligible correlation. No correlation or negligible correlation. The closeness of the points around the trend line determines the variation or the strength of the correlation between the variables involved. The closer the points to the trend line, the stronger the correlation of the variable is. The strength of the correlation between variables can be perfect, strong, weak, or no or negligible correlation. To summarize the strength of correlation, refer to the table on the next slide. Okay, as you can see, the points are close to a line that can be drawn, that can be best fit on this scatter plot. So we are going to describe it as a strong positive correlation. Why is it strong? Because it is somehow intact. It is uh, almost fall in a straight line. It is positive because it rises from left to right. Okay? This correlation exists when almost all of the points are on the line, or the points are closely scattered on the trend line that rises from right to left. So take a look at the second one. Weak positive. It goes up from left to right, but it is somehow scattered. It is somewhat scattered a bit. But if we're going to compare it to the previous one, it is more scattered than the previous one. That is why it is a weak positive. We have here a weak positive correlation. And for this one, it is very scattered. And we cannot see a trend, whether it goes left to right, or it goes down from left to right, or it goes up from left to right. The points in this correlation do not follow any trend line. The points are just scattered around the Cartesian plane. On the other side, we also have moderate negative correlation. This correlation exists when the points are moderately scattered, rising from right to left, or going down from left to right. We also have strong negative correlation. As you can see, it is negative because it goes down from left to right. And it is strong because it's closely scattered on the trend line. So that is how a strong negative that is what a strong negative correlation is. Two variables can also have perfect positive or negative perfect correlation. Positive or negative perfect correlation. Oh, this must be a mistake. Two variables can also have perfect positive or perfect negative correlation. In a scatter plot, the variables with perfect correlation will show points that fall into a straight line. It means the line on the scatter plot falls exactly on a straight line.